In the shadow-draped depths of Necromunda's towering hive cities, the passage of time is marked not by the turning of days, but by the scars of conflict. It is in these twisted corridors, amidst the perpetual hum of ancient machinery and rusted frames, that new tales are born that bring to my attention the deeds of previously unheralded gangs. A humble historian and scholar of the Imperial House, my task is to gather what information exists, and by journeying through the sagas of these protagonists, uncover all that can be discovered, tracing their origins and unearthing what twists of fate propelled them to the fore. Because, on Necromunda, every conflict is like a living tapestry, with stories unfolding and legends growing, as time marches ever onwards. The first of these gangs to be explored is the Neo-Spider Nexus of House Van Saar, and while information on them is limited, I have pieced together enough to be confident in my findings. Formed from the splintered ruins of two more established gangs under the leadership of the veteran Van Saar Prime Espen Dale, it is said that they were tasked with taking control of a section of the Underhive which contained a previously undiscovered trove of priceless archaeotech. By all accounts they performed this task admirably, ridding the region of all those who stood counter to their clan's wishes, until only a single enemy remained. The Scrapforge wreckers of House Goliath stubbornly refused to be removed and represented an infuriating obstacle to the completion of their task. This violent and bitter conflict lasted a full year before reaching its brutal conclusion, and in the end, it was an unexpected raid led by Espen Dale deep into the heart of the Goliath territory that struck the final blow, causing havoc and ending the life of the Scrapforge wreckers' leader. This victory, though, came at a great cost, with only two Van Saar warriors returning, one, a veteran named Darius Coldfire, and the other Espen Dale himself, though he had been left a ruined mess by his final confrontation with the Goliath Forge tyrant. The few scraps of data I have been able to find lead me to believe that Espen Dale died of his wounds, with Darius Coldfire eventually taking over as Prime, a role he continues to hold to this day. Peeling back the veil of mystery surrounding the individual members of the Neo-Spider Nexus has involved many months of research as well as days spent gathering accounts from the denizens of the Underhive, and I now believe I have managed to assemble enough relevant information to offer a fair and balanced insight into these members. This chronicle begins by delving into the past of Darius Coldfire, who is the current leader of the Neo-Spider Nexus. By all accounts an accomplished tactician and skilled artificer, he is one of the only survivors of the Radfire Sentinels who were brutally ambushed and almost wiped out by a roving band of Ashwaste nomads. As with most of his clan, Coldfire has an affinity for ranged combat, and is rumored to be one of the fastest shots currently operating amongst the gangs of House Van Saar. Eyewitness accounts say that he carries an exquisite example of the clan's craftsmanship in the form of a much-prized combi weapon, while he has also been known to wield an antique shockstave, its ornate carvings and fine metalwork belying its functional brutality. As another clan member present at the gang's inception, my detailed research shows that Skorgan Gerone is one of the gang's two current augmechs, a position of authority below only that of the Prime. And while she is no less skilled in the use of weapons, the most notable trait I have been able to unearth about her is the natural aptitude she shows for using technology in the advancement of medici applications. When in battle, she is often seen making use of an ancient combi weapon that is similar in build to that carried by Darius Coldfire. And from those few Underhivers I have managed to question, it seems that Skorgan is also heavily involved in the training of the gang's subtechs, ensuring that both their martial skills and technological education receive equal attention. Obtaining information concerning Max Obadiah has proven to be more difficult than expected, largely due to the high degree of secrecy that cloaks the internal workings of House Van Saar, even from one such as myself who can freely call upon the vast resources of the Imperial House. Nevertheless, I have managed to deduce that as the gang's second augmech, he employs a more aggressive approach to most situations compared to the more reserved Skorgan. And from numerous first-hand accounts, it appears that Obadiah is often seen advancing on enemy positions while delivering pinpoint accurate fire from his plasma gun, a skill few can lay claim to and even fewer have mastered. Lastly, it is said that he favors working with more accomplished gang members, avoiding those who may limit his aggressive tendencies through their inexperience. In order to avoid a frequent failing that is often suffered by many of my fellow scholars, it is critical that even the histories and deeds of the lowliest of clan house foot soldiers receives adequate exploration, lest we fail to truly understand the day-to-day struggles of life in the depths of the Underhive. Lars Killswitch and Kai Svard are two such fighters, representing almost textbook examples of the well-trained and lavishly equipped gangers of the Van Saar clan. My research shows that whilst Lars is the more seasoned fighter, with Kai having only recently graduated from the ranks of the clan subtex, both are armed with one of the Van Saar's advanced las carbines. Additionally, both are said to be equipped with a set of mesh armor that, when layered with their survival suits, provide significant levels of protection not often seen amongst mere gangers. House Van Saar tends to show more consideration for their youngest members than many other clans, which has meant that developing a detailed account of their actions has offered less of a challenge than expected, though it is still a true test of one's scholarly skills to be able to unearth the identities and deeds of these little-known Juves. While it is unlikely that either Dietrich Alsander or Otto Elmer have seen much combat, from what data I have obtained, I believe both to be proficient in the use of ranged weapons, which in truth is no great surprise. And while the Van Saar do provide their new recruits with respectable levels of equipment, it does not seem to match the advanced arms and armor carried by the more experienced techs. Instead, the accounts I have of these two subtechs show them using a more standard pattern of lasgun while being clad only in their personal survival suits. While the number of active members of the Neo-Spider Nexus is relatively low as we begin the journey of recording their more recent activities, it is this scholar's humble view that they have, and continue to represent, a valuable asset at the disposal of House Van Saar. And as we will see throughout their unfolding story, the Neo-Spider Nexus are a skilled group of dedicated warriors, each trusting in the other to have their back and prosecute the orders of their prime without hesitation. To conclude this introduction, I would like to encourage those consuming these words to take note of them and, if you find them intriguing, look to the scrolls of enrollment so that you may follow my journey through these twisting tales, and mayhap even receive notice when another becomes available. Finally, while I am confident in my skills as an historian, I find that the acquisition of a wide array of supplementary commentary can often lead to improved understanding, and so I encourage you to leave such a comment if you so wish for my further consideration.